Hello and welcome. This video is going to be what sold for me on the various platforms that I sell on for the week of July 8th to July 14th. I have 3 platforms of sales to share with you, and we're going to start as per usual with the lowest performing platform first and work our way up. So let's get over here, and that first one is going to be Facebook Marketplace. I sold one thing on Facebook Marketplace. It is this Wii carrying case, which is, hello Miss Moxie, which is something that I personally had, and I got rid of most of my Wii stuff. I just didn't get rid of my Wii for personal reasons. But I didn't get rid of my Wii, I just sold the carrying case, and it sold for $12 on Facebook Marketplace, and on Facebook Marketplace the buyer pays for shipping. So this actually weighed more than a pound, so it shipped UPS. And I'm happy that this very large thing is now out of my house. It did take like a year and a half to sell though. Oh well. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna go over to Etsy. Here's Miss Moxie. I have to move her or my butt will kick her off of the ottoman. This is a bundle sale. For the first time in 3 years, I made a whoopsie. So you see here in this bundle sale that there are 2 items. There were actually 3 items in this bundle sale, but one of the items I had actually sold already a year ago, in fact. And so what happens on Etsy is I have, if you spend $35 or more, the shipping is free. So that's what this person did, basically made a bundle so that way they could get free shipping. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry, this has never happened before. Is it okay if I just refund you the $15 for the item that I don't have, that I already sold, and I'll still give you free shipping and just send the other 2 items. It took them 2 days to respond to me, and I sent a message like when I realized that I didn't have it anymore, to the next day, and then the day before I was like, I'm gonna have to cancel this because Etsy was like really grumpy that I hadn't sent the stuff yet. But they were very nice about it, super duper nice about it. And I did send both of these items off, and I did have to pay for shipping because, again, they had done the thing that they needed to do to get free shipping. So I paid $4 for shipping. So I still, like, because I paid, I think, $1 for the, less than $1 for the book, and then less than $1 for the top. So actually the top is all free because it was part of this large vintage haul. So still made okay money. I just made a whoopsie. That's the first time I haven't delisted anything, and it's only because it was on Etsy. Etsy is one of those sites where I just set it and forget it, and that finally bit me in the butt. So I also make mistakes, and I'm sharing them with you. It happens to all of us eventually. So we're gonna go over to eBay, which is my main bay. I didn't sell anything on Poshmark this week, which is fine. I'm always just grateful I sell anything on Poshmark. So the first item I have to share with you for eBay is this vintage 70s Afghan. It was like just a little lap blanket. This is something I picked up with this huge vintage haul. So it was entirely all profit for me because, again, my last video that you guys saw, which I'll link up above, I talked about how I basically did Whatnot last month and made this so it's all profits, just for easy maths. So all of this was profit. So $23.90, and the buyer paid $12 for shipping. I did ship that out UPS so that way I could get it in that $12 range. So this was a great sale. This is something I picked up at an estate sale that I did not film because it was like one close to the boys' house, and I was just like, I'm gonna stop by, maybe not get anything, but then I ended up getting a bunch of stuff. So I paid $20 for this purse, which is totally fine if I'm gonna sell it for $50. This is from the 80s, and the reason I know it's from the 80s is because it's really easy to identify vintage Coach purses based on like what the style of the creed is. This one was in much better shape than the last one, which is why I was really happy it sold for my full asking price of $49.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. This is something that sold within a week of me listing it, so this was great. This is something that I picked up because I am Slytherin and I wanted it to go to a good home. This was a New at Tags box lunch, Slytherin large jersey. Sold for my full asking price of $14.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. I paid like $4.50 for this, so very happy that it moved on to a new home. This is another great sale, so I had some really good sales this week. This was something that you guys saw in my de-hoarding videos, which one day I'll get back to that. I have collected more stuff, so I basically made space and then fill all that space up. Good job, me. But this is something I had sitting on my dining room table for literally ever. Like, probably a year. Just because it was so many pieces, I didn't want to like have to clean and do that. And then I did the de-hoarding. And so then I washed everything to list it, and it sat in my drying rack in my kitchen for another month and a half before I was finally like, this is so delicate and fragile, and I keep bumping into it. This needs to get listed. So I did list it, and I listed it at $100, and it sold on offer for $70, and the buyer paid $25 for shipping. So, and to be honest, this actually sold within like a month of me listing it. So maybe it was just zeitgeist, where it was like that person was looking for this at that exact moment. But yeah, I drug my feet on this item, or this set of items, for a while, just because of the fact it was like a lot to deal with. And but I knew it was valuable because I picked it up. I paid like $8 for this set. For this tea set. We do this to ourselves, we really do. But it's a great sale. Happy it's gone out of my house. Finally. This is a Salt Valley Western Pearl Snap. You know I love my pearl snaps. I know to pick up this brand. Granted, even if I didn't know this brand was worth picking up, which I learned from Matt's Manifesto, Thrift of Life, here on YouTube, I would still pick it up because I love picking up pearl snaps. It's one of my favorite things to buy and sell when I get them for cheap. So this sold for $15.90, and the buyer paid for shipping. This is a top that I had in my personal closet, and when I did my closet clear out, you notice that my closet is getting more and more full. It's like I made space, and I'm like, goodies. So this is something I had in my personal closet. I wore it for like a year, and then when I did my clear out, I was like, all right, it's time for it to move on to a home. This sold for my full asking price of $19.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. I am going to do what you guys told me to do for that video, and I am going to save up until I have enough money to buy one of the men's throw-up boxes, because those are my favorites. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just waiting for most everything to sell, and that should get me enough money to where I can buy one of those men thread-up boxes. This is a cool dress. Apparently, just like with Prana dresses and Athleta dresses and Lululemon dresses, the activewear dresses don't seem to sell very quickly, which I don't understand why, because this was very comfortable. This sold for $15. I paid like $5 for this at a thrift store. So I'm glad it moved, but it did take like 2 months, and I did have to accept an offer. But I probably will not pick up cool dresses unless it's my size, which is why I picked up this one, is because I heard that dresses don't sell quickly, but it was in my size, so I could wear it until it sold. Happy. This one took a year to sell. This is that's because this was damaged. This had a 2 chips on the bottom, so if it was sitting on a table or a desk or whatever, it had chips on the bottom, but the chips didn't make it uneven. It just had to be denoted. So this was a flawed item. Visually, it didn't look any different if it was on display, and it didn't change the functionality of the item. Everything on top was beautiful. This was a cigar ashtray, and it was pretty. I thought it was green, so obviously I picked it up. But it did take a year to sell, and it sold on offer for $11.90, and I paid, I think, like $4 for this. So I saved it because it was pretty. Would I pick it up again? Probably, because it's green and it's pretty, and I don't want it to get thrown away. This next item, if you find anything mushroom related, mushroom stuff is like, the last 2 or 3 years has just been insane. Anything with mushrooms on it. First it was like the Mary Mushroom Sears catalog, which by the way, if you find anything Mary Mushrooms, still huge. Stranger Things made that a thing, and then it's just carried on with TikTok and the Mushroom Girls and the Cottagecore. Anything mushroom, pick it up. So I found this at the bins, so I paid 25 cents for this. It sold the same day I listed it for $5.50, and the buyer paid for shipping, so love it. And this did have like someone's name written inside of it and then like on the side. So like, you know, if you have a book, this isn't an upcoming video, if you have a book, it had basically someone's name written in giant marker on the side, and someone still paid me $5 for it. So that the power of mushrooms compelled them. It was funny because the person's name was Morel, but it's not spelled like a moral mushroom, a morel mushroom. I just thought that was funny. Whatever. This is something I had originally picked up for myself, but it cut into my pit meats. So I wore it for a video and then never again. So I put it up for sale and it sold for $11.90. I paid $2.50 for this. So one, I bought it because it was cheap. Two, I bought it because it was linen and green and I wanted to wear it. And three, I sold it because it didn't fit me right. So happy it's sold. This next item, I have to thank a viewer, Elizaveta. Thank you very much for purchasing this from me, but also you bought it before I could wear it. I actually picked this up at the one thrift store I went to in Tennessee, and I didn't mind paying like $3 for this because I was gonna wear it until it sold, but I mean, if it's gonna sell within a week of me listing it, that's fine too. So she bought it before I could wear it. So Elizaveta, thank you very much for supporting me and watching my videos and for buying from me. But this was just a really cool men's t-shirt with a bunch of skulls on it. The brand is WXYZ. I might need to run some numbers on that and see what the sell-through is at, but this was just very cool. This is an Eddie Bauer fishing shirt. Fishing stuff's still moving for me. I will pick up anything fishing if I can get it for cheap. I actually, I think, paid $4.50 for this CHKD, but it did sell within a month of me listing it, so it sold for $11.90. So I doubled my money, and I'm more than happy to do that all day long if it's gonna be a quick flip. And my goal is to double my money. It's worth my time to double my money in that instance. This is something that'll come up in the next video, because remember, I'm listing things before I show you hauls. I am being good and not adding to this giant death pile that is behind this camera. So this sold for $11.90. You'll see it in the next video. It is something that is sold, so Island Shores is sold at JCPenney, and the reason I picked this up at the bins is because it was new with tags, and I'm paying less than $1 for it. So sold before I can even show you the haul, for $11.90. So it sold within like 48 hours of me listing it. So that was awesome. This is a bundle sale on eBay. I've sold more bundles on eBay than I have on Poshmark, and Poshmark is supposed to be where all the bundles happen. I don't know why, but I'm happy about that. So this person sent me an offer for both of these vintage 90s tops, and I accepted them because they were like, hey, can you combine shipping? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So what they ended up doing was I accepted both of their offers, and then after I accepted their offer, I could send them an invoice because it was on offer that had the corrected shipping, which actually I paid $6.28 to ship this, but I just made it a flat $6 because I'm not worried about it. Especially since I paid $1 for each of these shirts, so very happy about that. I'll turn $2 into 20 all day long. But again, I modeled both of these too. So I have purchased a dress form. I've finally broken down and purchased a dress form because of my energy level recently. I just don't want to get dressed and undressed a bunch of different times. While it does look better and I can like do like cute poses and stuff, and I do think it helps sell vintage, it is exhausting. And sometimes this vintage stuff is part of the reason why all this vintage stuff is not getting listed, is because of the fact that I don't have an easy way to photograph it in a way that I can like style it unless I dress myself up. So, however, I ordered it, and the person that I ordered it from off Amazon apparently shipped it to the wrong address, and they haven't given me any tracking information for my replacement or anything like that. So I might have to report a scam on Amazon. That's fun. I've not had that happen before. But let's go back to sales. So I bought this at the bins. I actually have this exact same book. I bought it brand new at Barnes & Noble when I worked at Barnes & Noble. And I found it at the bins, and I paid 50 cents for this, and it sold the same day I listed it. So very happy. It sold for $4. I'm more than happy. It's front and back, inside cover. I love listing books. It's so easy. And I love it. This I have to thank Brett for, not because he purchased it from me, but because he provided the item. So Brett sent me an amazing giant bundle of vintage postcards, and I have only listed 25 of the probably 300 he sent me. And this sold. I did have to delist and relist, but it sold the same day I relisted it for my full asking price of $9.87, and the buyer paid $4 for shipping because you can only send the eBay standard envelope if it's 3 postcards or less, and this was a booklet of postcards, so it technically did not qualify for that. But Brett, thank you very much. This sale, I was ecstatic when I saw it come through, because this was the oldest thing in my store. I listed this April 2nd, 2019. And the adage is, everything sells eventually. But this stupid mug has been in my store for over 3 years, and it finally sold after I delisted it and sold similar, because we're doing that again in July because I need sales. And this sold as soon as I relisted it again for my full asking price of $9.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. So I am so happy it's gone. I'm also glad I didn't redonate it, because I didn't need to make 2 mistakes this week, and I'm just happy about that. I'm so happy it's gone. It was a big mug too. Another viewer sale. So Michael, thank you very much. He sent me a picture of his current wallet and why this was a much needed replacement, which gave me a good laugh. Thank you, Michael. So thank you very much for purchasing this from me. I picked this up at a recent estate sale. It was in a fossil container, but this is an American Tourister wallet. So it's still vintage. It's a vintage, well-made leather wallet. And Michael, I hope that it lasts just as long as the wallet that you pictured and showed me. That was adorable. Thank you for that. A different estate sale, I picked up this little Rival Crockpot cookbook. I want to find one of these like 1975 Rival crockpots in the green color, because I think it's absolutely adorable. But I talked about, it was funny to me that I basically made a video the day before talking about the history of crockpots. And then I found one of the reasons why crockpot are such a big thing in America. And it's this version, this set of crockpots is basically what made crockpot an American staple. And I found both the crockpot, but it was in a colorway I didn't want. And I couldn't test it. And then 2, I found a booklet. So I picked up the booklet for like $0.25, and I sold it for $47. So these old manuals, they get used as like props, or people just want them because they like having all of the things that go with their cool vintage thing. And that's what this is. And then the very last thing I have to share with you is Columbia PFG. We love Columbia PFG here. I have made and sold, I've made so many sales, and I have sold so many pieces of Columbia PFG. If you can get it for cheap, do it. I picked this up at the bins, so I paid less than $1 for it, and it sold for $15, and the buyer paid for shipping. So anything Columbia PFG, if it's in good shape and I can get it for like cheap, $4 or less, I will pick it up. $5 or less, I'll pick it up. But that is all my sales. My sales seem to be going in this upward direction, which I am very grateful for. They're still not where May's sales were yet, but you know, we have hope because things are going pretty well. I am spending a lot more time listing and cross-posting, so it's working for me. Maybe try it if you're trying to get more sales. See if that helps you. Or not, you do you. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your real dad. So I will see you guys in a couple days for another video. Until then, bye. Bye.